Hey everybody, it's me, Darius here, and for you guys, what I have today is a bit of a fun time with y'all, and sharing my love for sketching, and the unheard loves that I don't see a lot, and that I have come to know and come to enjoy for my own personal learning. And so I figured, let me just share some of those loves. So I have three that I would like to talk with you guys about. And, hopefully uh, you guys will feel to share them as well in, your own sketching in because I know sketching is one of those things that um, is a bit scary at that because of how messy it can be. But there's some good things about it. So, firstly, one love that I get from sketching is that it's a very honest approach. And what I mean by that is that it's like you see a lot of sketching, let's say from other artists that you may have in the back of your mind that make you go like, wow, like that is so amazing. And you know, when you take into deeper thought in analyzing it, there's that sense that it's actually not as clean as you think it is. And it actually is like has that honest flow to it that is still, authentic. And the thing that about sketching is, well, what makes sketching is that authentic feel to it. That feel that is not pitch perfect, but just, it's there. And the great thing about sketching, with it being so honest and not having to hide behind renders or, the technical, the icing on the cake in drawing, if you will, but it's just more on lines of just, all right, so here it is, and this is what it is, you know. Like even beyond just sketching in the digitally or traditionally as well. There's only so much that you can erase when you're working with traditional, in the sketchbook, and even with digitally too. Um, Something that is important to understand is that not every line has to have a meaning, or you don't have to erase every line and get so caught up in it. Like digital art, it makes it to where that too is, especially because when you're erasing traditionally, it makes that ugly kind of look to it, and there's only so much that you can erase before you have to move on. And that's another honest thing about it too, that there's only so much focus that you can give to a certain thing until it's just you reach that point where let's just leave this as it is, doing our best here, right? um, it's a very comforting thing to know, and how sketching can be so honest in that. Like it really is an honest game with how sketching is. So that is like my first love there. And the second love about sketching that I've come to really enjoy is that is that it rewires your mindset. And we might get a little philosophical here for a little bit, but this is actually quite a real thing that I've been noticing ever since I've picked up on sketching. And, something that is I'm having to constantly remind myself is that not every drawing is gonna be pitch perfect. You know, like for me, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I struggle with that, and having a frustration of thinking that, man, like, why can't I draw this right? Like, what is going on with these hands, these torsos, basically anything aspect in drawing that could use some work, and being a perfectionist, it's like you don't want to look at mistakes or think about them, and it's like getting in a frustration when you face them, you know and the thing about sketching is that it's kind of just gets all that over with, in a sense, because sketching is supposed to look messy. It's not supposed to look clean or like a masterpiece, so to speak. I mean, you see all those kinds of sketching that, like, with other artists, and they look amazing, yet they're not like crisp in their approaches with it. It's something that is like it doesn't get put into words a lot, in that it's like you don't have to have every line have a purpose, and coming to understand that the mindset in drawing is more of a grinding game, or like when you're leveling up in a game. As silly as that may sound, it's actually quite real, in that there's certain practices that you do, right, and then you level up, and in those practices there are some imperfections and slip-ups, if you will, that it gets messy and it doesn't look all that clean. But even then, when it doesn't look all that clean, bit by bit, sketch after sketch, it starts to look more right, if that is the proper wording to say it. Like, it looks more intentional as every drawing goes, so that's where it's like powerful to think about sketching, and how it gives you a new sense of mindset, and to not be so hard on yourself. It's quite meditative to look at it like that, so it's really good there. Now, the third love that I've come to find, and it's quite nice too, is that it's as much personal as it is publical, and there's probably much better way to say it, but basically, I believe that in sketching, it's important to have like a set aside time that is only for you to sketch and to show to nobody else. Because when you're sketching, when you make that decision that, okay, so we're gonna be sketching, and we're gonna keep this to ourselves, it's not so much to post everything that you draw, but to have a bit of a safe corner or a comfort corner, if you will. And I mean that in that, social media and posting, there's all kinds of people that will see your work, and it provides a safe haven in that, this is kind of like me time, if you will, with drawing, and having that me time is effective in that, like, it provides a mental, like, mental stimulation in that it's not having to be in front of people and just allows you to be you, and of course, a lot of the times when I do sketches, I just have them in the sketchbook, so to speak, whether it's in an actual sketchbook, traditionally, or just in the catalog of sketching and in digitally, it's just provides a comfort to know that not everything I draw has to be in the eyes of people, and it's like having in the constant eyes of people with whatever it is that you're drawing. It has made it quite stagnant to me to know that, like, or used to know that everything I'm drawing has to be in front of people's eyes, but that's not actually the case. Like, not everything, like, you don't have to share everything you draw. It provides a safe haven with making what you want whenever you want, regardless of how good or bad it is. But yeah, those are just my 3 loves about sketching that I wanted to share with you guys. I'll be seeing you guys around as ever, and yeah, I hope you come to incorporate these loves into your own sketching as well. Well, with all that being said, I'll see you later.